In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to keep your Make workspace organized with 15 simple, actionable steps that will transform how you manage your automations. Make is an incredibly powerful automation platform, but as you build more and more scenarios, your dashboard can quickly become cluttered and confusing if you don't put a few organizational habits in place. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a clean, structured environment where every workflow makes sense at a glance. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. Let's begin with the very first step, which is to create clear scenario names. When you name a new scenario, resist the temptation to use something generic like test or new automation. Instead, give it a descriptive name that explains exactly what the workflow does, who it serves, or what business process it supports. For example, instead of invoice flow, you might name it weekly invoice processing for accounting. This small habit pays off enormously when you're scanning your list of automations weeks or months later, because you won't have to open each one to remember its purpose. Think of scenario names as file labels in a filing cabinet. When they're clear, you find what you need instantly. Next, let's talk about using folders to keep everything separated by project or department. Folders are one of the simplest yet most powerful organizational tools in Make. You can create a folder for each major client, each internal department, or each recurring business process. When you right-click in the scenario panel, you'll see the option to add a new folder, and you can drag and drop scenarios directly into it. The beauty of folders is that they give you a top-level view of your entire workspace, so you can drill down into exactly what you need without scrolling through dozens of unrelated workflows. Now that you have folders, it's time to group similar scenarios within them. If you have multiple automations that handle email notifications, for instance, place them all in the same folder, or even in a subfolder if Make allows that within your plan. Grouping related automations together makes logical sense because it mirrors how you naturally think about your work. When a colleague asks where a particular process lives, you can confidently direct them to the right folder without any guesswork. Step 4 is all about adding notes to explain complex workflows. Every scenario in Make has a notes section where you can write down important details about what the automation does, why certain modules were chosen, or how data flows from one step to the next. This is incredibly valuable for anyone who might inherit your scenario later, or even for yourself when you revisit a workflow after several months. A simple note like "This scenario triggers every Monday at 9 a.m. and sends a summary to the sales team using the Google Sheets module" can save hours of reanalysis. Let's move on to renaming connections. When you connect Make to another app like Google Drive, Slack, or Salesforce, the connection gets a default name that's rarely helpful. Take a moment to rename those connections so they reflect the specific account or purpose. For example, instead of Connection 1, rename it to Sales Team Slack app or Marketing Google Drive. This becomes crucial when you have multiple connections to the same service because you can easily tell which account each one uses without clicking into the settings. Step 6 is a straightforward but often overlooked task. Remove unused scenarios. Over time, you might create test scenarios, one-off automations, or workflows that simply became obsolete. Leaving them in your workspace creates visual noise and can even slow down your loading times. Regularly go through your list and delete anything that no longer serves a purpose. But be careful, only delete scenarios you're absolutely sure are not needed. If you're uncertain, you can archive them instead. Which brings us to our next point. Archiving old projects is a gentler alternative to deletion. Make allows you to archive scenarios, which moves them out of your active view but preserves them in case you need them again later. This is perfect for projects that are completed for now but might be revived in a future quarter. Keep your active workspace lean by archiving anything that hasn't run in the past 3 months, and you'll find that your day-to-day navigation becomes much faster and more focused. Now let's talk about consistency. Using consistent naming conventions across all your scenarios and connections is a game changer. Establish a simple format for your team or yourself, such as project name, nation, frequency, and stick to it for every new automation you create. For example, client onboarding, send welcome email daily. When you follow a standard format, pattern recognition kicks in, and you can quickly identify workflows even when you're just glancing at the list. Regular reviews are the next habit to adopt. Set aside 15 minutes every month to go through your scenarios and check for outdated automations. software updates, changes in business processes, or new team members can all make a once-perfect workflow irrelevant. During your review, look for scenarios that haven't run successfully in a while, or ones that reference old data sources. Updating or removing these keeps your workspace fresh and reliable. Monitoring errors is equally important, and it ties directly into organization. When errors stack up unresolved, they clutter your notification panel and make it hard to spot genuine problems. Make has a built-in error handling system, and you should check it regularly. Resolve issues as soon as they appear, because a single broken module can cause a chain reaction of failures downstream. A clean error log is a sign of a well-maintained workspace. Let's look at module placement on the canvas. You might not think of this as organization, but how you arrange modules inside a scenario matters a great deal. Keep modules neatly aligned, use straight connection lines, and avoid crisscrossing wires whenever possible. A tidy canvas makes debugging and editing much easier, especially for complex scenarios with many steps. Think of it as tidying your desk before starting a big project. Documenting important workflows is step 12 here, and it's one of the most valuable long-term investments you can make. Even if you add notes inside your scenarios, maintaining a separate document, spreadsheet, or a tool like Notion with a brief description of each major automation and its purpose can be a lifesaver when onboarding new team members or when you need to quickly recall how something works without opening the platform. Testing automations periodically ensures that everything still functions correctly. A scenario that worked perfectly 6 months ago might break because an API changed or a connected app updated its permissions. Schedule a recurring reminder to run through your critical workflows manually or trigger them in test mode. Catching a failure early is much less disruptive than discovering it during an important business operation. Step 14 involves cleaning up unused connections. Over time, you may authorize Make to connect with apps you no longer use. These leftover authorizations are not only clutter, but can also be a security concern. Go to your connection settings and revoke any that are no longer active in your scenarios. This keeps your account tidy and reduces potential access points for unauthorized data retrieval. And finally, the result of all these steps is a Make workspace that stays clean, organized, and easy to manage. You'll spend less time searching for scenarios, less time troubleshooting, and more time actually building automations that drive your work forward. If you ever feel your workspace getting messy again, just come back to these 15 steps and do a quick refresh. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped you, consider saving it for later or sharing it with a teammate. I'll see you in the next one.